The big headlines at the top of the hour. India Today Axis My India poll says the BJP-Sena will get a clear majority in Maharashtra. BJP-Sena set for an easy win is the big headline at the moment from the first battleground state. The BJP-Sena projected to get 166 to 194 seats in the 288-member assembly, which would give them a comfortable victory. The Congress NCP projected to get 70 to 90 seats. So a gap of almost 100 seats between the two alliances. The BJP-Sena and Devendra Fadnavis, who voted today, set to become the next chief minister if the India Today My India Axis poll is right. Axis My India poll is right.
So a lot of people have been asking, these are the numbers for Maharashtra, but what about Haryana? I just want to give our viewers a sense of what the other networks are saying for Haryana. Times Now has said that the BJP will get 71 seats, the Congress 11, others 8. CNN News 18 says BJP 75 seats in Haryana out of 90, Congress 10, others 2. NewsX says 75 to 80 for the BJP, Congress between 9 and 12, others between 1 and 4. Republic TV says BJP between 52 to 63, Congress between 15 and 19. So that's the broad sense. The market seems to suggest the BJP by itself comfortably placed to form the next government in Haryana. Pradeep, आपके नंबर कहाँ हैं सर?
राजदीप, मैं ये कहूँगा कि मेरे नंबर के लिए आपके व्यूअर से, इंडिया टुडे के व्यूअर से, आई वुड रादर रिक्वेस्ट कि वेट फॉर वन मोर डे to come out, let us come out with a comprehensive exit poll for you. Give me one more day this time at least.
क्या डर गए? बाकी सब चैनल कह रहे हैं कि बीजेपी स्वीप कर रही है और प्रदीप गुप्ता डरता है.
I'm not getting who is winning or losing or what others is saying. All I am saying, give me one more day this time at least.
क्या आपका इनसे कुछ मुख्तलिफ होगा, विभिन्न होगा?
नहीं, I can't comment on that at this juncture, but I would again say give me one more day and let's wait for one more day.
So we are going to do this as a two-day match. That's the distinction. We want to get the numbers right. And I think that's the difference between what India Today, Axis My India does and what I call the T20 style of polling. Pradeep Gupta has really put his effort into this and therefore believes that given the nature of the contest in Haryana, to get the numbers right, he needs more time. And I respect that, Rahul.
Can I explain what's happening,
It's a good sign.
For example, in Karnataka, when the projection was made, the voting percentage at that time was roughly 68%. Remember, it's about 6:56 p.m. at this moment. Voting has just about got over. In some polls, we're still, in some of the polling stations, is just about drawing to a close, and we don't have the final voting percentages. In an election which is fought in one phase, to be able to make a proper prediction, you need the ultimate final voting percentages, which are not available in Haryana at this time. Given that this is a very fluid election, India Today and Access My India believe it's better to wait for a few more hours, let the final polling numbers come in, and then we will put out the numbers. The question that will then be asked, Pradeep Gupta, is what is it about Haryana which holds you from making a prediction, whereas in Maharashtra you're very comfortable making one?
See, the two things, one is Maharashtra and Haryana. If you see the size of these two states, one is 90 assembly constituency and another is 288, which is like more than 3 times. And Haryana particularly is dynamic in nature because it's geographically, if you see, in one region you will find the Jat is calling the shots, they are the decisive factor, and the other is the Dalits. And across the state, it's like Sainis and OBCs and Brahmins, they play the role. So all I am asking this time is give me one more day.
Okay, while we give you one more day, let's look at the big picture that's coming out of Maharashtra. The big picture out of Maharashtra is that the BJP has emerged as the party number 1. Swapan Dasgupta, what do you think has been the turning point? This has been an evolution from 1990, where the BJP was the junior partner, to today, if these numbers hold. What was that decisive turning point that you believe has pushed the BJP to the point where they are on the brink of actually even forming a government on their own?
Well, I think partly it's because of the eclipse of the Shiv Sena more than anything else.
Interesting. You think the eclipse of the Shiv Sena has benefited?
Maybe the word eclipse is probably too strong a word. I would say the weakening of the Shiv Sena. The Shiv Sena, ever since its split between the Raj and Uddhav split, was weakened. And I think that had a greater impact than they would actually admit.
And that's interesting because that coincided with the rise of Modi. Ashok Malik joins us now. you've given up your avatar in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, so you can speak freely now. Ashok, your sense, these numbers, do they surprise you as someone who's tracked politics for years, that we've come to the stage where the BJP is the party #1 of a state like Maharashtra?
Well, we saw that trend in 2014 as well. This election represents a forward movement from 2014 for the BJP in that they carved a non-Maratha coalition the last time. This time they've got some of the Maratha vote as well, breaking away from the
In fact,
Congress.
I can give you the exact numbers, Ashok, and these are the stunning numbers. I think, you know, if you're looking at caste, the BJP-Sena, as per our poll, 50% of Marathas are voting for the BJP-Sena. This is unprecedented. Remember, Marathas are about 31% to 33% of Maharashtra's population. The Congress NCP is getting 37%. The party of the Marathas, dominated by them for years. And the VBA of Prakash Ambedkar is getting 2%, others 11%, but 50%. You know, these are the stunning numbers. This suggests major social churning.
That's one. Also, do remember the first 5 years of the Modi era were about the BJP winning state after state. This is the first time a chief minister is being re-elected in the Modi era.
You know,
So you've also got
very,
strong
very
state
interesting.
leaders.
Is that something that's surprising you, Shankar Iyer, again, who's tracked Maharashtra for years? We've reached the state BJP-Sena getting 50% of the Maratha vote.
So this is what I said, the craft of the ability of Devendra Fadnavis to walk across the aisle, to find the people to represent a cause, to convince his own party, which was not easily convinced about the Maratha reservation, to pursue the idea, to speak to the youngsters in Maharashtra, personally meet them, and to get that reservation done, and to exceed the Supreme Court cap. This has delivered those 50% votes. Remember, the NCP is virtually a Maratha Congress party, and they
That's the question, because I think our viewers need to realize when the BJP rose in Maharashtra in the 80s and 90s, they had what they call the Madhav formula. What was the Madhav formula? Mali, Dhangar, Vanzari, the three OBCs. Vasantrao Bhagwat, RSS leader, crafted this, and Pramod Mahajan and others were involved in this. Gopinath Munde, Vanzari leader, was brought. They were an OBC party and a party of urban traders. Now they're a cross-class, cross-caste party. This is remarkable.
No, the really remarkable thing about the BJP is to be able to pull together an alliance of extremes. The Dhangars, for example, don't get along with the Marathas. So the BJP had been playing the Dhangar politics, especially all along the western Maharashtra belt, and now it suddenly got the Maratha Kunvi votes broken with it, and the other non-dominant coalition continues.
And with due apologies to my friend Mr. Dasgupta, headed by a Brahmin. You know, the fact is the 3.5% population of Maharashtra has thrown up a leader who is stitching a cross-class, cross-caste coalition.
No, I don't think you have to apologize to me.
No, because
I'm not a Brahmin.
No, but you were apologizing to me the other day.
It's my misfortune, perhaps, as you may term it.
Yes.
But
No, I am not terming it that way. You seem to suggest that.
The more important thing, I think,
Yes.
which I think, Rajdeep, you're glossing over, is the complete stagnation of a person we love to deify called Sharad Pawar. If you look at the time between Sharad Pawar's entry as an independent player outside the Congress
Yes.
to now, and it spans about 6-7 elections, it's exactly, he started off with a certain cluster, he ends up with a certain cluster.
No, but
there is no progress whatsoever.
That's
And
because,
yet-
that's because,
yet
that's
I am
because,
surprised.
Swapan, to some
No, no,
extent,
I'm-
the Congress NCP vote
I'm not
is a very
asking you
similar
to-
vote.
I'm not asking you to give the explanation for that. I'm just making a observation.
Yes.
And I'm saying
Fair observation.
that is quite important in terms of our consistency with which we say the potential of Sharad Pawar. But as far as I can see, the potential of Sharad Pawar remains exactly where he was in the starting point to the finishing line.
Let me just contest it for a moment. 3 elections, 99, 2004 and 2009. In these 3 elections, the Congress NCP won with a joint vote of the Congress NCP. It's a similar vote. So Sharad Pawar, like so many other regional leaders, has been swept aside by the Modi phenomenon. The Modi phenomenon that has emerged in Indian politics in the last 5-6 years has swept aside various leaders. Sharad Pawar is only the latest among them. The fact is, it's the Congress vote, which was about 40-45%. That vote, if these numbers hold, is now coming to about 35%.
No, you see, in various states, people who've broken away from the Congress have edged out the Congress.
Point. That's a fair point.
Mamata Banerjee being a classic example.
That's
in
a fair
West
point.
Bengal. You know, Sharad Pawar started off with a certain cluster of the Congress vote, but hasn't been able to grow. Neither has he been able to actually poach the Congress vote. Even when they went...
I think that's because he restricted himself to Western Maharashtra. I think what happened is Sharad Pawar had these patron-client relationships with all these sugar barons, and that was his base. The BJP has chipped at that, and Mr. Pawar has been unable to grow beyond that. The NCP is non-existent in Mumbai. The NCP is non-existent in Vidarbha. It is a party of the Marathas. I think it should be called the Maratha Congress Party. And the moment Devendra Fadnavis attacked the Maratha vote, Sharad Pawar finds himself in a tough position.
You have to look at this a little more. So when Swapan says he has stagnated, you can also say that he's been consistent. What is remarkable here is that the Congress has collapsed.
That's the thing. And that's the point, exactly.
Sharad Pawar's politics has always been restricted to 7 districts. Here, the great appeal of his is not so much about getting people elected, but the ability to topple people. And that is what has been his marked brand equity from the 70s when he toppled Vasantdada Patil.
Because
he has simply been unable to expand his charisma beyond
One
that.
is very clear. The Congress NCP has no resonance in urban Maharashtra. And remember, this is an urbanized state. Number 2, the Congress has disintegrated in Vidarbha. And if you look historically, there were seats where the Congress never lost in Vidarbha. From that point to become such a junior player in Vidarbha. So I think Shankar has a point. The Congress has disintegrated. Sharad Pawar, you can say stagnated, consistent, has remained where he is. And the BJP has expanded and taken over the Shiv Sena vote. If you look at these 3 phenomena, I think you can understand Maharashtra in 3 lines.
I mean, for example, Hansraj Ahir lost the election in Chandrapur. Wasn't that in Vidarbha?
That's the only seat they lost.
No. So what is the Congress doing out of any of these opportunities that it ever had? Places where they could have chipped in at the BJP, did not do a thing. The exit of Vikhe Patil, for example, there was politics over the Aurangabad ticket. What did the Congress do to Ahmednagar ticket? What did the Congress do out of the opportunities or dissonance that was coming out of that? There were ways of, doing politics. The Congress was not seen doing politics. The Congress deserted its cadres in the Satara rally, the last rally that I witnessed, where Sharad Pawar stood in the rain and spoke. In Karad, for example, in the hotels, up until 2 at night, there were women Congress cadres.
Sharad Pawar is a sub-regional satrap. Let me for once agree with my friend Dr. Dasgupta. Sharad Pawar is a sub-regional satrap of Western Maharashtra. But the Congress is not even that. The Congress is not even left with any region of Maharashtra. And that is the disintegration.
We're spending too much time talking about the loser, not spending enough time talking about the winner. I want to make an important point. In the region of Mumbai, on those 36 seats, the BJP and the Shiv Sena are projected to back a whopping 30 seats. The Congress and the NCP only 3 and others 3. Given how much noise there was around issues like RA, around issues of development of Mumbai, it shows that there is a big disconnect. 30 out of 36 seats, that's a whopping victory in your city.
But Rahul, look at it. The BJP Shiv Sena swept all 6 seats of Mumbai in 2014 in terms of Lok Sabha, repeated it in 2019. In 2014 Assembly, the BJP Shiv Sena between them have won 29 seats. I'll be interested to see the breakdown. I won't be surprised if the BJP wins more seats than the Shiv Sena in Mumbai. My belief is, except for Konkan and Thane, the Shiv Sena will not be ahead of BJP in any other region. Look at North Maharashtra, 32 to 12. Now, this is among the, one of the other changes. And I don't think we recognize or give BJP enough credit for this, since you're talking about winners. The social base of the BJP, the poorer sections, the poorer parts of Maharashtra, and this is again my belief, will vote even more heavily for the BJP Shiv Sena than the Congress NCP.
So out of the BJP is winning about 17. Out of the 30, the BJP is projected to win 17. And Sena 13.
So my point is, but even outside Mumbai, Rahul, in all the poorer parts of the state, the BJP Shiv Sena in Dalit areas, in tribal areas, is doing better than the Congress, the new social base.
I have a point to make around income and then the probability of that particular family or voter voting for a particular party. Maharashtra's exit poll data shows the poorer a voter,
Yes.
the more likely he is to vote for the BJP and the Shiv Sena. The richer the voter, the more likely he is to be split more equally between the BJP-Sena on the one side, the Congress NCP. So amongst those who earn more than 31,000 rupees, the gap between the two alliances is only 3%. Amongst those who earn less than 5,000 rupees, the below poverty line, the gap is 15%. Shwapan Das Gupta, that is very important. The longest
Not only
time BJP...
important, Rahul, it actually the entire model on which Indian politics was based has been turned upside down.
Correct.
That is the main. It's a tectonic shift. It's not. It's something which I think if we were to see this pattern establishing itself in election after election, we will need to redefine the nature of the party system in India, because it was always the Congress. What was the Congress's base? The poorer you are, the more likely. It was the Dalits, the minorities, which formed the core base of the Congress, along with some support from the upper castes. That was the Congress coalition.
We can essentially say the BJP is the new Congress. It's the new umbrella party of this country. Amit Malviya?
BJP is the BJP. I think.
Okay, he doesn't like me saying the BJP is the new Congress. I will still persist and say the BJP is the new umbrella party. What Rajni Kotari called the Congress is now the BJP. You agree with that, Amit Malviya? You should smile today and give me a nice broad smile.
Well, Rajdeep, I think the BJP has certainly managed to expand in the way that not many parties have done in the time period that it has done. And there are a few reasons that have come into play which did not exist earlier on as far as Indian politics was concerned. A, you have a charismatic leader in Prime Minister Modi, and therefore people believe that this is the party that means business. The BJP has also emerged as the natural party of governance, and its various chief ministers, including those in Haryana and Maharashtra, have worked assiduously for the last 5 years. And the party and its governments have worked to improve lives of people in their respective states. I was just looking at the data that Rahul just put out, that the poorer sections of the society are more amenable to vote for the BJP and Shiv Sena. This is a marked departure from what you would say about the BJP before 2014. The reason for that is that the several welfare programs that the governments ran, both at the center and at the state, have actually benefited. The delivery has reached the last person on the ground, and that is very important. There is a constant attempt to ensure that people's lives improve, and that is also true for the big emerging middle class that we have in the country. And people invariably look at governments based on what they promise, what they deliver, and their own shared experiences. And on all these counts, the Maharashtra and the Haryana governments for the last 5 years, which was pretty much co-terminus was with Prime Minister Modi's government, has done a phenomenal job. And that's why you find parties such as NCP and the Congress in Maharashtra and Congress and the other regional parties in Haryana being pushed to the fringe, because for all these years, their mainstay or their main narrative in politics was about caste, was about identity, was about catering to small pockets of influence like the sugar barons in Maharashtra. But when you start talking about people and when you start delivering to everybody irrespective of their identities and social construct, this is the kind of mandate that you get. And it yet again reaffirms that if you have if you have a government that means well and does a good job, people do reward it.
The other thing which is very interesting, Ashok Malik, is that the gap between the two alliances amongst women is 14%, the gap amongst men is only 6%. So the gap between the BJP-Sena and the Congress NCP amongst women is more than double of the gap amongst the men, which means that women have in disproportionately higher numbers gone out and voted for the BJP and the Sena.
Well, there would be interesting analysis of why does this happen. We knew this happened in the national election because there were targeted welfare programs that helped women. Perhaps there were similar programs in Maharashtra, or perhaps the gains from the Lok Sabha election persisted. But all of this actually goes on to emphasize what Shwapan and Rajdeep said, that many of these factors were true for the Congress 20 years ago. A greater percentage of women voting for the Congress, more poor people voting for the Congress. In urban Maharashtra, it used to be the Shiv Sena that carried the BJP. Now it's the other way around. And the fact that this cross-caste, broad-spectrum coalition that has been created by the BJP, led by a Brahmin. This used to be traditional Congress style, well, he doesn't want to use the word umbrella, but it is really...
No, he doesn't want to use the word new Congress. Swapan Dasgupta is refusing to accept that the BJP of 2019 is the Congress of the 1960s and 70s.
I think
that Narendra Modi has done what Indira Gandhi did 50 years ago.
No. I think
What's the difference?
To compare the Congress culture of Indira Gandhi to the BJP culture is different.
I'm comparing in terms of the cross-caste, cross-class
in terms
alliance.
of social coalitions, that is actually the pre-Indira Gandhi Congress, more than the Indira Gandhi Congress.
Okay, we can argue about that.
There is a very important observation in this data.
It is not a mixer-grinder television inducement to vote to women, and therefore the real difference is that I saw the development schemes. There was no poke barrel politics, as it is called, played there. No incentives to women, and therefore it's been a rational decision on the part of the women. A lot of the women that I spoke to clearly said that they didn't see corruption in this government. So even more than 370, the image of the government, Devendra Fadnavis himself being a doer and not corrupt, is something that has mattered for women. And when I say no television mixer grinder, no gold chains, no sarees distributed, that's a huge tectonic shift. Why are the women then voting for this alliance?
You know, the other thing which is very interesting to note is, for people who wonder how much of a spillover effect are we seeing from the Lok Sabha elections to the assembly election, when respondents were asked, why is it, those who said they voted for the BJP-Sena, when they were asked, why is it that you've picked this alliance, 32% of them said they have voted for the BJP and the Shiv Sena alliance because of Narendra Modi. 1 in 3 BJP-Sena voters said they voted for the alliance, the Mahayuti, because of Narendra Modi. 31% said because of the good work done by the central government. Only 16% said their primary reason for voting was the work done by Devendra Fadnavis' government.
I think you have to be fair here to Mr. Modi, because, you know, while we look, Mr. Modi has been very successful in ensuring that the central schemes are identified with him. You know, Narega was Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Ayushman Bharat is seen as Modi Care. If you look at Ujjwala, it comes with a letter from the Prime Minister. I think that identification has meant that Mr. Modi is able to send out a message that the state government, in a sense, is only acting as an agent for the center. And I think there he has successfully blended the state and center. Look, Mr. Modi at the end of the day is winning states after state, except for those 3 states in December last year. If you look at a series of results, including Rahul in states like Tripura, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah's ability to lift the state unit is huge.
Looking at it is that Mr. Modi is adding to the strength of the state government.
Exactly.
That is not the case with the other party.
You know, my sense
where the national leadership is detracting from whatever efforts the state leaders can make.
Rahul, let's look at it from a state point of view of Maharashtra. Vidarbha is where Devendra Fadnavis comes from, Nitin Gadkari. So they've invested a lot of personal political capital there. Devendra Fadnavis has made a huge effort in Mumbai, and, you know, to try and give the impression that he's actually going to really, in a way, transform Mumbai. We talk about RA, but we've also got to talk about metro and other projects that are coming up. Urban transport, urban infrastructure is a huge issue. In Marathwada, he launched the Jal Yukta Shivar largely for the drought-prone areas. The consequences have been mixed, but he's made an attempt. Limited success, but at least made an attempt. Better than the Congress NCP, where 70,000 crores were put and 0.1% was added in irrigation. That leaves Western Maharashtra. And there, I think he targeted the NCP specific leaders. Yeah. Northern Maharashtra is a poorer belt. I'm a bit surprised with these numbers, but it really shows the decline of the Congress, and that's where the BJP has risen. So you've got really a BJP now across every region. It's a pan-Maharashtra party. And the important part, small point, I think the Shiv Sena has actually benefited from the BJP. I would have liked to see how the Shiv Sena would have done if they had fought this election on its own. My sense is they would have gone below 40. The Shiv Sena, frankly, has been lifted by the BJP and Narendra Modi. Modi's presence has helped the Shiv Sena as well.
Rajdeep, there's a very simple way to analyze what's happening. Narendra Modi has aligned the economics of the bottom of the pyramid, what C.K. Prahlad used to call the bottom of the pyramid consumer base. Narendra Modi has made it bottom of the pyramid political base. So he has aligned the issues, aligned the voter base, aligned his messaging. He doesn't go on TV and talk about corporate tax cut. He goes on TV and talks about Ujjwala. He talks about Kisan scheme. So he has aligned the messages. And as he has done that, the opposition has gone and aligned itself on other issues or has been seen as less than interested in their cause. If they have...
I disagree there. Look at Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi played MIG, played minimum income guarantee scheme. He also saw, I divided, like you're saying,
But
India
what
A,
did
B, C.
No,
India A,
Rajdeep.
the elite was already with Modi. India A was completely with Modi. The Hinduization, the Hindu nationalism was there. India B was the floating voter. India C was traditionally Congress vote. Mr. Modi targeted India C. Once you have India C and India A, the middle class is a fluid class. They will go whichever way the wind is blowing.
There is no escaping that the central theme in the whole thing is economic interest and Hindutva. There is no escaping that.
You think Hindutva is a factor in
Yes,
Maharashtra?
it is a factor. Of course it's a factor.
Hindutva was a factor.
Of course it is a factor. Of course.
Very interesting. You agree with that, Shravan Das Gupta? And how does it play then?
No, look at it this way. The decision, for instance, in the last week of the campaign to invoke the Savarkar theory, to invoke Savarkar, was very significant. In turn, this is something which brought both the Sena and the BJP together on the common platform of Hindutva. And that, to my mind, showed it. And along with it...
If I'm sitting in a drought-prone village,
doesn't matter.
I haven't got 100 days of water.
Rajdeep,
I'm
you
about
don't sit in a
Savarkar.
doubt. You see, the point is, you have aesthetic objections.
Partner, I don't have aesthetic objections.
No, please.
I am talking about
you
Parli
have
village.
aesthetic
No,
objections.
you haven't
to
travelled to
Hindutva.
Parli village.
No, I haven't.
I don't
certainly
have 100
travelled
days of
I
water.
have travelled to
You
other
really
villages.
think, you really think
the point
Savarkar is an
you
issue
see,
there?
No. The
You
point
think
is
Savarkar is an issue in outside
Savarkar
urban Maharashtra?
Why is it an issue? It is an issue because it brings the committed voters of the Shiv Sena
Agreed,
and
that
the
I agree.
BJP together.
Yes,
so there is a
agreed.
role. There is a role which takes into account mass issues. There are issues which require to be addressed to the committed. So in the last week of every campaign, if you study the dynamics of election campaigns,
brings the
you will always see, whether it is Narendra Modi, whether it is Amit Shah, they always bring out these issues.
The central...
which will bring the
No, but Gujarat, the essential question was asked in Gujarat. Mandir chahiye ki nahi chahiye? What was the thing? In
Gujarat you questioned Ahmed Patel. You said that Ahmed Patel was was the candidate of Pakistan. Let's be honest. I don't believe that Hindutva played as much as a role as you're saying. That's my... I say it plays
it is
a role in
the
urban...
undercurrent. It is always the backdrop. It is the permanent backdrop.
But Rajdeep, I asked a very senior
Yes.
BJP leader who I shan't name,
Yes.
you know, what were the issues? He said, issue kuch nahi hota, issue to banana padta hai. What did the opposition make as an issue? In Haryana, unemployment is higher than it is anywhere else in the country.
Yes.
There wasn't there's so many auto companies, auto ancillary companies, the entire manufacturing hub. The Congress did nothing.
Can
so
I-
if they pull out
Can I throw
Savarkar,
my... Yes. But my point is not so much Savarkar, Rahul. I think, and you know, this is controversial, voters trust Narendra Modi. Mr. Modi in
no, it's not controversial, it's a reality. Why is it Rajdeep?
Because people, you see, in 2014 it was about hope. In 2019 it's about trust.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you know, people, I don't think Maharashtra has changed as much as people make. There is still a water crisis, but people think Modi jo hai na kuch karega, and there is such a loss of credibility. People don't trust an Ajit Pawar or a Sharad Pawar.
Ashok,
Yes, Rajdeep, it's also a question of getting voters out and mobilize them. This is a story I told Rahul yesterday. The day after the Lok Sabha election results, the day after, a Shiv Sena leader told me a meeting of the Shiv Sena was called. The BJP has swept this election. We will not get a 50-50 divide for the assembly election. We did in the Lok Sabha. What is our plan? They had a proper meeting. Did the Congress have that meeting even 3 months later?
They're still to have that meeting.
I want to add one thing.
Yes.
See, in 2014, there was still the talk of a neo-middle class, a rural-urban. The 2019 discourse is really a settled discourse about, I would agree 100%, it is about the bottom of the pyramid. Small mistakes also, like Sujay Vikhe Patil said, 2,000 rupees Samman Nidhi ko lauta do, clearly brushed aside immediately, because that remains the cornerstone of how the BJP will conquer or win the rural Maharashtra, notwithstanding all the hardships. And remember, after Orissa, Maharashtra is becoming the climate change disaster, important disaster zone of India.
Where I'm willing to, I think the nature of Hindutva politics has changed. It's less about cultural nationalism, but this strong political nationalism, Desh. a lot of people and
That was cultural nationalism.
No, 1 minute. No, but if
That was cultural
1 minute.
nationalism.
But 25 years ago, Swapan Das Gupta, if you spoke of the politics of Desh, it didn't resonate. Today it does. Mr. Modi seemed to embody that. He seemed to embody this tough, muscular leader who will get things done. So I'm not denying the role of Hindutva. I'm saying it's a Hindutva plus politics. Bottom of the pyramid, other issues along with Hindutva. Only Hindutva, the BJP would have been a 20% party.
You know,
At
it's
45,
also welfare.
50%,
It's
much
effective
more than
delivery
that.
of welfare.
Sorry, if tomorrow, let's assume the delivery of welfare was not as effective, you can put all the Hindutva you want,
It's
it would
also-
not have
I
the same
agree.
effect. That's the point.
When we talk of Desh,
Yes.
goes with actual integrity in
Yes.
politics, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what has happened.
Fair enough.
See,
That
wherever
I
you went
there I
in-
can agree.
Wherever you go in Maharashtra, you ask anybody about Fadnavis, the plumber, the fitter, the driver, the farmer. The one thing, the first thing that they say, koi daag nahi us par."
अभी तक कोई दाग नहीं है।
Ironically, there have been, what he has successfully done is whenever there has been a dag, he has either managed to ensure that that dag doesn't go out of control. And a number of people whom he dropped in this government, whether it's Vinod Tawde, whether it's Eknath Khadse, whether it's Prakash Mehta,
Bhawan
were people who were seen to have some kind of corruption stain on
But
them.
that's
so
good.
he becomes,
That makes him larger than life.
that's exact, and this is the Modi model. I am saying Fadnavis 2019 is Modi 2007. This is exactly what Mr. Modi did in Gujarat.
I don't know whether you say that as a good thing or afterwards Fadnavis gets into trouble.
Rajdeep, one second,
We'll take a
Rajdeep.
very quick break. We'll be back with part 2. On the other side of a very quick break, we're looking at Maharashtra. We'll also tell you a little bit more about why is it that we're holding back the numbers for Haryana. If everybody else is so certain that Haryana is a done deal, then why is India Today and Access My India not putting out the numbers? We'll deal with both of those issues when we come back on the other side of a quick break. Stay with us.